Yo, team. Alright. Sorry about that. I have no idea why. The net seemed to have cut out, which isn't great. Okay. So, anyway, back to this purple deck. Part 2, I guess, is what we'll do this. So, level 5s. Right. So, the idea with Angelmon is that if you have throw less security when attacking, you can play level 3 yellow Digimon from your hand. So, we hopefully Digivolve into this, we get something from the trash, and then if we have one of these Sukaimons, if we have our Rush Agumon still because we couldn't get rid of it, Lucemon or Pulsemon, we can then put them down off that effect and say, you know what, that's actually pretty good. And one of my actual other favourite things to do with this Angelmon is if we put it into a blue deck, which is a little bit spicy, or like you put it with, what is it, Shine Greymon? Rise Greymon? Nope, War Greymon, like the yellow one that can attack a few times, right, with insecurity. I think it's BT5, no, BT4. Then you're getting this effect multiple times because the one attacking inherited effect isn't once per turn. So this Angelmon's very good for that reason. Other ways that we boost our Mastermon is with this new Skull Greymon that's coming out in BT6. This is my absolute favourite level 5 purple Digimon at the moment. So the reason why is because if you trash it in your hand because of your own effect, you can place this card at the top of one of your purple Digimon's Digivolution cards. That includes Mastermon because Mastermon's purple. And its inherited effect is Retaliation. So if you say trash this card because of Gabumon, you probably could up the numbers in this deck, to be honest. And that would help a lot. But yeah, if you trash it, you get it back under your Mastermon or something, and then suddenly Mastermon has Retaliation, which is, again, huge. You know, you don't even need the Savagramon or something like that at a lower level if you have enough of this Skull Greymon and if you're able to trash it effectively. But the issue about this Skull Greymon is, well, 1, it's not out yet, 2, it's not in English yet, same thing, but then 3 is it's super rare. So it's going to be very hard to find this Skull Greymon, and I can already tell it's going to be at a fairly high price when it does drop, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a great card. It's going to be used everywhere. I'm going to want to pick up some and use it. Also, if you attack, you can trash a card to give it 3,000 so it goes to 10k, which is, you know, it's an effect. I don't know if you want to use it too often, but it's there. So we're effectively able to boost our level 3s, and we're also able to give Retaliation to Mastermon. Over here, we have Millenniummon. So this is our level 7 for the deck. And in hindsight, you could also use Omnimon Zwart Defeat, I believe. Or Omnimon Zwart, maybe, as well. Because I'm pretty sure that Digivolves onto purple or black. It's level 7. And that's, I think, BT5 is when Zwart Defeat comes out. So you could also take one of those into this sort of deck just for the purple. But Millenniummon's great because we get a level 7, we get to go on top of Mastermon, making Mastermon a little more useful. You can return one of your opponent's Digimon to the deck, which is a huge, great effect. And then when this card is destroyed, if it had Digivolution sources, which it would, you may play it from the trash without paying its cost. Now, something that I really wanted to do in a different deck profile, but I realized I couldn't, was I thought, hey, Skull Greymon, if you can trash this card from your hand and then put it under one of your purple Digimon, whoa, what if you put it under Millenniummon, and then suddenly when it comes back to the field again, right, after it gets destroyed with sources, you put another source under it, and then you can constantly do that combo. That's what I thought, and I thought that was like the most broken, busted thing in this game, and that would just be insanity. But then I realized Millenniummon is actually white in color. Which you can tell because whatever the color of the Digimon is, it's actually around its name at the bottom of the card. So this one's white, this one's purple, That one's purple, that one's purple. So just be wary of that. This card is white. If there's effects that say you can choose a purple or black Digimon or something like that, it's neither one of those. It does digivolve from a purple or black Digimon, but it is not one. So a little sad about that. But if you look at all the level 7s, you'll notice that the only ones that have specific colors at the moment, as of BT6 onwards, sort of thing, is Gabumon, Agumon, both of them Bond of Friendship or Bond of Courage. They're unique ones. And Lord Ragnamon, which is red. So 2 of those 3 level 7s that actually have colors are red, which makes me think that another great deck in future for red. Here you go, red guys. I guess there was a deck for you. Is use those cards, the red level 7s, and then use the Tai card. It's level 4, I believe, and gives you plus security attack for every 2 or 4 sources or something under your red Digimon. So those level 7s, that would count as red Digimon. You'd be able to actually get that effect off, and a lot more consistently. I recommend looking into it and getting it, especially with, like, say, for example, Ragnar Lordmon, because that gets an additional security attack anyway, just from being itself. And then I think Bond of Courage, like an Agumon one, also gets an extra attack or something. There's something nice about it you can probably mix into it. But anyway, I digress. Back to this deck. So this is just some suggestions on other level 6s you could pair with this Digimon, with Mastermon. Melamiotismon was one that I used more when it first came out in BT3. It was cheap. When another Digimon is destroyed, you get a memory, so with all the Sukaimon and little things we're reviving back from Mastermon, I just thought, and with all the blockers we have, whenever a Digimon gets destroyed, you're getting a memory is probably pretty good. So that's what I thought. And if you have more than one of these on the field, you are getting more than just one memory. You'd be getting, like, for example, 1 memory from each of them if a blocker died or something like that. And it's got piercing, so it also accounts for your opponent's Digimon. If you have this Digimon down and you attack your opponents and it, gets destroyed and goes to the trash, you get to get a memory as well as check security. And then if this one goes as well, I don't think it gets a memory off its own self going down. No, it doesn't. But hey, you know what? That's the thing. Although the biggest killer for this card is its security. No, its Digivolve cost is pretty high. So yeah, that might be an issue. But if you want to make a deck around Melamiotismon, you could always pair it with Arokenimon, a purple level 5 Digimon that can Digivolve onto green or purple. Put some green Digimon in the deck as well. And then just try and cut down on some Digivolution costs. Maybe you can use that. I forgot the name of it. There's an option card. It costs 0. It's got a Stingmon on the front. It was limited to 1 with Argomon. You guys probably know the one. Anyway, it cuts down Digivolution cost by 5 if you suspend something. So like that could be a card that you could maybe get to work with these in the future, depending on what cards come out. But either way, trying to cut down on cost for this card would be how you'd use it effectively. Dundevimon. This card's here, again, just another option for your level 6s, because every time you lose a card from the security stack, when your security stack is removed, you trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Well, that's only once per turn, but you could also pair it with Mastermon's effect if you got to that level. I don't know if you will, but with things like Lucamon and Tailmon, being able to recover some of your own cards, that's pretty okay with this, because you just keep recovering, and then its effect keeps going off, and then you keep trashing their security. And that is a playstyle you can go for. There's already some Dundevimon decks, especially with the promo what's it called? Demi-Devimon, which helps get this out as well. So you could go that route. But what you will find is that these decks are probably a little slower, which is a legitimate strategy, and that is pretty fine because you can kind of wait out other decks and see some more security effects go off if you're using things like Lucemon and you're just trying to get those effects out there. Also, when it's deleted, your opponent trashes 2 cards, so that's just an additional thing. Anubismon, pretty great to pair with the Mastermon, to be honest. The Digivolution play cost is pretty low. This thing was pretty cool because it was uncommon when it first came out in BT4 as well. When Digivolving, you may play a level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost, so it's any level 3 Digimon. Doesn't matter about the color. You get its on-play effect, so you can get your Lucemons out with it. Pretty easy, pretty fine. And your not your Gardamons, but your Lucemons, and your Rush Bushy Agumons as well. Yeah, and those ones you played from trash. Oh, right. So when your Digimon are played from the trash, it gains Rush for the turn. If for some reason you have this out at the same time as Mastermon, I don't know how you get there that fast and that quick. That's probably late game. But with Angelmon as well, especially I guess if you stick that. No, it doesn't matter actually. But anyway, pair it with Mastermon. It gives Mastermon's things Rush, but it's probably a bit late game to actually be pairing those two things. Metal Gurumon's here because you can Digiburst, playing a level 7 option card for free. That's pretty neat. So I was wrong. There is one Digiburst card in here, and it is Metal Gurumon, so playing a purple option card is pretty good. What purple option cards would you want to play? I don't know. You guys would have to look into it. But if there's cards you want to play, go for it. That's all I can really say on that one. Now here's the Wargreymon. If you pair this with Angelmon, that's a fantastic time. But again, not again, but like this is the only yellow level 6 Digimon we really talk about. The only thing it can go on really is Angelmon. Also, your Mastermon's looking to go on Angelmon, so those two are exclusive to that, as well as your Shakumon. Shakumon is here just because it's sometimes a nice tech option. It's level 5. It's just here. Sylphimon's here. Just, I don't know, to be a little unique and have a red card. We actually don't need this thing at all. Unless you want to go onto Wargreymon or Mastermon. But I only recommend, like we've got 4 level 5s here that are yellow. You don't need this many, I don't think. So you probably don't need these guys at all, but they are just other options for you guys. Because you can make your opponent's level 4 or less to go to 1000 DP, so it's got a tiny niche, but you wouldn't expect to use it too much ever at the moment. Chimeromon's here because I like it. When you play it, you can delete one of your other Digimon to delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. So it's probably not that good. I can see this card getting sloshed out a little bit in future, unless there's cards that specifically pair with it really well, but this is mainly so you can have an on-play effect and then immediately put, like, say, Mastermon on the top of it the next turn. But I don't know if you're going to be using it too often. Myotismon is just Retaliation. It's just here. It's a promo card. You don't really need it, in my opinion, but you might like it. I think this new Skullgreymon is just going to be the much better Mastermon. Its play cost is only 1 more, but the effects on it are so much better. So be sure to look into that. Unless you want to just add lots and lots of Retaliation, have just 4 level 5s that have Retaliation. But I definitely look into maybe only having level 4s with Retaliation, only having level 5s with Retaliation, or having a little mix between. but don't go too overboard with it because not everything needs it. And I think that's it. I think that's basically the deck. Yep, let's see. Skullmeramon, it's just a cheap level 5 if you want to just instantly slap it down. Or Digivolve up, it's pretty cheap as well. Joe's here. You don't need Joe, but I put it here because if you wanted to use black cards, you could put a bunch of these in. With Mastermon, you're using a lot of blockers anyway and hoping to get those back, especially with, say, the Gardemon. So at the beginning of your turn, if you have Digimon with blocker, memory +1. That won't always work if the Gardemon isn't with a purple Digimon, but with the other blockers in this deck, you will just, get a +1, and that can be okay. So you can make it more consistent with those. Kari, Kari is just awesome, great card. I would say one of the best generic tamers that you can use in any deck because there's no purple requirement specifically. When your security is reduced, you may suspend this tame to gain a memory. It's pretty simple. So if you want to use this card with some purple option cards, I definitely... You could pair it with Metal Garurumon, and that would be just fine. Matt's here because it's a memory tamer. When you play this card, you can return a purple option card or purple Digimon from your trash to your hand. So it's just a little bit of a card to help balance out the deck. If you get some stuff in the trash you don't want and you want to get it back, you can do that. Plus you're getting the memory at the start of your turn, which is also a big benefit. Now don't mind me in the sounds as I take my phone out of its case. It just seems to be getting a bit warm, so thought I'd do that. Cool, good, all right. And that's purple deck. What do you guys think? There's lots of options here. There's no option cards, but this is just kind of how I made the deck. I'm curious to know what you guys would do. We have these guys as well, which let you discard and draw. So again, that works into the Gabumon strategy. It works into the Skull Greymon thing. And all that good stuff. Oh. But yeah. How do we feel about that? Pretty good? Good old Mastemon. While I'm here, may as well show you another Mastemon deck I've been working on a bit. So this one is a little bit more of an updated version. I don't know how much I'd actually recommend it. So as you can see, we upgraded the Xiaomon to 4. Sukomon's back. Mastermon is at 4. Well, it's just here because it's the main thing we're building the deck around. Jackraid's here. Mimicmon is here in Force. Now the changes you'll see here reflect the new cards that have been coming out. So this Nanimon. Now this is the dumb part about the deck, right? So we added the color black. So the consistency might be really bad. This might not work at all, but I may as well tell you about it. Nanimon is 100% something I wish to include in a bunch of decks that I want to splash black. It's something that I want to include because I love it. I think it's fun. It's very cheap. The Digivolve cost is pretty average, but the play cost is low. And it's also got a neat effect because if it's hit in security, you get to play it. It's a security card that costs 3. So, BT6, we just splash these. We send them out as cheap, like almost pseudo rookies. We see if we can get them in security to get them out. Nanimon's just a funny card. And the reason we have Nanimon here is because now we have Metal Marmemon. Because I also love this card, so I'm trying to make it work in a weird fashion. So This thing's whole niche is it has reboot, but also when it evolves, you add a level 7 Digimon card with the virus attribute from your trash to your hand. So the idea is we have these two guys, just to play these guys out pretty cheaply, digivolve them up to Metal Marmemon, and then we get a level 7 back, which is just me trying to use its effect to the fullest. And the level 7s we have in this deck are Millenniumon, because they don't have to be a specific color. From what I've read here, nope, as long as they're virus attribute. So the best virus attributes for this is Millenniumon, and I think it was Omnimon Zwart Defeat. Yep, there it is, which apparently is a virus type. I will know officially when the translations come through, but it seems that Omnimon Zwart is not, but Omnimon Zwart Defeat is virus. So this card is already going to be huge. It's going to be seen everywhere. So let's see. It's also got a security effect. So just like Nanimon, if it's in security, that's pretty cool. It comes out. But this one doesn't get to battle the opposing Digimon it fights. So be wary of that. Well, in security at least. But you do get to play it immediately and just have a 13k. When you Digivolve into it, so that'll be off our Marmemon. And the plus side is if it's in the trash and we go into Marmemon of, say, Nanimon, then we can pick it up, put it in our hand, and then Digivolve into this, and then get its effect off, which is delete one of your opponent's tamers, which is pretty niche. Yeah, it's niche. Not many decks seem to have this at the moment. Sorry, no cards seem to have this. I think this is the only card that actually gets rid of tamers so far. I'm the first one of it. And then on deletion, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Like, it's so straightforward. It is so straightforward. It's insanity. And look at those costs. There's 3 onto purple or black. It's going to be used everywhere, and it's going to be costly, I bet. And the other way we get Metal Marmemon out is we use some black blockers that I just like to splash in decks. So this is one of my core strategies. I use black blockers because they are the cheapest blockers to just straight out play, and they give you the most value for it, in my opinion. So you could Digivolve up into blockers naturally, and that's a pretty fine, legitimate strategy. And the good thing about that is you get card draw. But if you don't want card draw, you can do it this way too. So Guardramon's amazing because it's 5 to play, and it's 7k. It's 7,000 attack. So it can't attack, but it's the highest attack power blocker that is a level 4 that is the cheapest. So that's why I run it. But that's from set 2, 1.5 to whatever. The newest one that I want from the new set coming out this week, BT5, is Mechanorimon, because as you can see, it's 1,000 less attack power, but it costs 1 less to play. Now, the Digivolve cost is way more, but that's fine because I'm just playing it to splash it down as a blocker. I don't actually care, right? So it also can't attack like the previous Digimon, like Guardramon. But it has the best ability, right? So not only is it a blocker, but on your opponent's turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, you unsuspend it. So if they make a mistake, any sort of mistake, or if your Digimon is like getting stronger or something, you block one of their Digimon that has less attack than this. This Digimon unsuspends itself, so it can block again. So this thing can just constantly block anything that has less than 6,000. And that's insanity. That's why I think it's going to be the very best blocker just to splash in any deck. So rather than actually Digivolving into stuff, I'm just going to be running like maybe 3 of these and just about every deck is what I plan to do. It's a common card, which is one of the very best things for me. And that's how I plan to run it. At the moment, I've been, like I said, using Guardramon, but also in place of this, just using what's it called? I might even have it here. No, I don't. The black Chrysalismon? The little Diaboromon Digimon. So the promo version of that is a blocker, It costs 4 to put down, and it's 5,000 attack, I believe, which is a nice niche because, or maybe it's 6,000. No, I think it's 5,000. I don't know, somewhere around there. But it's very similar to this, but this card is just a bit better because its Digivolution cost is higher, so it can afford to be stronger. But yeah, I'll just splash this in any deck. That's definitely what I intend to do. That's what I think you guys should do. 1 Digivolution cost blockers are going to be very cool anyway, though. Just like this guy, like Bidomon. But when it comes to just straight up playing it, why would you play this 5k for 6 when you could pay this 6k for 4? That's 2 costs less, 1,000 more. So, oh look, it's the, is that the alternate? No, it's not the alternate art. Other differences. There's a Pagamon here. Discard the top card of your deck. That's there. I think Demi-Meramon is still going to be better, the little flamey guy, in hindsight. Rebellimon's here. So I don't actually like it that much, but it goes on to purple or black, and it's a nice splash to get between those levels, between levels 4 and 6. Also, you can trash a card in your hand to have it gain blocker. And it also gets retaliation until the end of your next turn, and it's treated as black as well as purple. So the reason this is here is it pairs super well with Skull Greymon. So if you discard a card to have it be a blocker and have retaliation, this could be the card you discard, and then suddenly, you could add it under this card anyway. And suddenly this guy has retaliation permanently. And then you digivolve him up into something that also can still have retaliation permanently, which is probably going to be your Mastermon. Yeah, see? There you go. But this guy, he goes so well with Skull Greymon, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Which is why I love it, but I also hate it. Because there's times when I kind of wish Skull Greymon was just black rather than the purple one. But hey, can't always get what you want. Also, new tamer, Sora Mimi, and set 6. If your opponent has no level 4 or lower Digimon, you gain 2 memory. And your memory is always going to be on at least 1 on your turn. I think, generally. That's how that works. So, it's like a memory tamer that sets it to 3. If you have a few of these, that effect will stack. So, I think it's very cool. I recommend it pretty well, because how often, if your opponent doesn't have any level 4 or lower Digimon, then they don't normally have any blockers, unless it's black, I guess. So that's pretty nice. But also when your purple Digimon attacks, you can suspend it to draw a card and then trash a card. So it also works really well with the Skull Greymon, because this deck was kind of built around Skull Greymon more, Mastemon, but then also trying to add the level 7 Virus Digimons back to our hand. So we can't grab this guy back to our hand, but that's fine, because it's mainly about getting this guy into the hand. For what purpose? I don't know yet. Metal Marmomon's game isn't very strong. But we could also get Zort back. For example, if it was in security, it comes out, it gets destroyed, we get it back, I guess. Who knows? And Blinding Ray, Shugetsu, I forget its name in Japanese, but this card's here, trash top security card, gain 2 memory. If you're using these, which I don't like them that much, but other people seem to, just wait until towards the end of the game. Generally, when it's the last turn and you know that you're going to lose or you're going to get it, and just spam it, get 2 memory, get 2 memory, get 2 memory. And good luck to you. Yep. And those are the MASTEMON sort of deck profiles. So, yeah. Let me just take a break, guys, and have a drink, and I'll get back to it.